What is up, gamers? I'm back. It's another Genesys video. This time I brought one of the decks of all time. I have brought Shining Sarcophagus, or better known as the final deck that Yugi played versus Atem in the DM finale, right? The final rights duel kind of deck, right? So, as you know, this deck came out in Legacy Destruction. This was the main cover theme, and it did nothing. It got like one top like a year later, but that's it. This deck did nothing. I am just disappointed. I was very disappointed. I really like the idea that they decided to, well, they got to sell cards somehow, right? So they figured, oh yeah, Yugi had a deck. But it is a shame. I do like how it is just one of those decks where everything does just fit together off of one card. Of course, Shining Sarcophagus. It's just the rest of the deck kind of just does nothing, right? I mean, you have maybe 2 points of interaction, maybe 3, but I mean, it is something, right? Now, I gotta address the elephant in the room. I am at 100 points. That's because I'm playing Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. In theory, you can make Dragoon in this deck. It does need Dark Magician and Red Eyes Black Dragon, or a Dragon Effect monster. Well, Gandora-G, the Dragon of Destruction, is a Dragon Effect monster. And of course, Dark Magician, the Magician of Black Magic, say that 10 times fast, becomes Dark Magician while on the field. So, in theory, you can make Dragoon, and of course, your opponent is not going to expect it most of the time, but it's very funny. Of course, you can't get the Destroy effect because you do not use any normal monsters as fusion material, but you do got the Negate online, and it is a tower. It can't be destroyed by card effects. Now the player can target this card with card effects, so he is very hard to outs, especially in Genesys format. Understandably so, he is at 100 points, which makes sense. So, let's go about the card by card, shall we? First and foremost, Gadget Trio. Obviously, is a retrain of red, yellow, and green gadgets. If it's normal special summon, you add Shining Sarcophagus or a Spell Trap card that mentions it from your deck to your hand. And if it's destroyed by battle card effect, you can set Stronghold, the Hidden Fortress, from your deck. Dark Magician Girl, the Magician's Apprentice. You can special summon this card from your hand by discarding a card, and if you do, this card's name becomes Dark Magician Girl. And you can only special summon Dark Magician Girl, the Magician's Apprentice, once returned this way. If it's normal special summon, you can add one Shining Sarcophagus from your deck to your hand. Good, because you don't really want to use your Gadget Trio search to get Shining Sarc. And then this card gains 300 tech for each monster that mentions Shining Sarcophagus in the graveyards. Unfortunately, this is rather counterintuitive due to Gandora, but I will get to that in a sec. Dark Magician, the Magician of Black Magic. His name becomes Dark Magician while on the field. If Shining Sarcophagus is on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is destroyed by card effect and level 5 or higher monsters on the field, Gandora, you can special summon this card. Then you can set one spell trap from your deck that mentions Dark Magician. In this scenario, we are setting Secrets of Dark Magic. 3 Silent Magician 0. If your opponent draws a card, you increase this card's level by the number drawn. And while this card's level is higher than its original level, it gains attack equal to the difference times 500. So if it's at level 5, it gets 500. Level 6, it gets 1,000, so on and so forth. When your opponent activates a spell card or effect while you control Shining Sarc, you can quick effect negate the activation, and if you do, increase this card's level by 1. Silent Swordsman 0. During the standby phase, you can increase this card's level by 1, and while this card's level is higher than its original level, it gains attack equal to the difference times 500. When your opponent activates a card or effect that targets Shining Sarc or a monster that mentions it that you control, you can negate the activation, and if you do, increase this card's level by 1. With how much more targeting cards, like things like Cyclone, the Final Bringer of End Times, that little quick play spell, Tornado Dragon, right? He is going to put, unfortunately, not as much work as magician, but he's still gonna put in a little bit of work for your end board. Gandora-G, the Dragon of Destruction, gains 300 attack for each banished card. You can only use each of the following effects of Gandora-G once per turn. If you control Shining Sarc, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can pay half your life points to destroy as many other cards on the field as possible, and if you do, banish them, then special summon one monster, level 7 lower monster that mentions Shining Sarcophagus from your deck, and increase its level by the number of cards destroyed by this effect. Usually you want to bring out a big Silent Magician 0, pump its attack to like 800 something, right? 8,000 something, and then swing for game. Now, the reason why I said Dark Magician Girl, the Magician's Apprentice attack gain effect is counterintuitive is because if you blow up the field with Gandora-G, they don't stay in the graveyard. They get banished. So, because of that, Dark Magician Girl's attack rarely goes above 2,600. You may get one card above in your graveyard, and that's if in the event they get rid of Trio or Swordsman, right? Besides that, Gandora-G is like your big finishing move. You clear the field, you summon a big dude, alright? And then if you have Dark Magician, if Dark Magician got destroyed by Gandora-G, it summons itself because it destroys all other cards. So it summons itself, set Secrets of Dark Magic, you know, do as much damage as you can, and then during your opponent's turn, you flip Secrets of Dark Magic to make Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. That's the whole thing. That's the whole combo. We are playing one Archfiend's Advent. It is a Summon's Goal retrain. While you control Shining Sarc, you can normal this card without tributing. Gross. Other monsters you control gain 500 attack during your turn only. Cringe. If this card is no more special summon, target a monster your opponent controls. Take control of it, but that monster cannot attack unless you control Shining Sarcophagus when this effect was activated. It is essentially Brain Con, but it's shit. It's terrible. First and foremost, you gotta normal summon this guy, right? Obviously, you can bring this out from Gandora-G, the Dragon of Destruction, but if you cleared the board with Gandora-G, what are you taking off of Archfiend's Advent, right? If you decide to summon him, nothing. If you somehow cleared the entire board with Gandora-G, right? He's taking nothing. He is like the worst, like, turn 5 card in this deck. But you do play him because it is searchable, right? 3D Decro, 3 Skull Meister, and 3 Ulti Slayer. Ulti Slayer, you just send the monsters that you target a monster your opponent controls of the same type. Obviously, you don't pendulums, but you shuffle it into the deck. Really good. 3 Future Silence. You add a monster that mentions Shining Sarcophagus from your deck to your hand. Then, if you activate this card during the battle phase while you control Shining Sarc and a monster that mentions it, you each player draws until they have 6 cards in your hand. This is the card of Sanctity effect. It's also weak click play, meaning you can activate this during the draw phase, which bypasses draw, which is really good. I'm definitely going to think you're going to see a lot more draw now. So do keep this in mind. You can just go in draw, activate Future Silence, so you don't have to deal with that. The main thing that glues this entire deck all together is Shining Sarcophagus. You cannot be destroyed by monster effects, but Gandora. During your main phase, you can add 1 card that mentions Shining Sarc from your deck to your hand, except itself. And if your opponent special summons a monster from the graveyard, except during the damage step, you can discard a spell, then target one of those monsters, send it to the graveyard. Obviously, this was a reference to the final duel, where a Tem activated monster reborn to summon Slifer. However, Yugi had activated Gold Sarcophagus to banish his monster reborn, which negated that the effect of monster reborn, and because of that, Slifer didn't get summoned. This is what we're referencing to. So if you had a useless, say, Ultimate Slayer, or you don't need to go use a Future Silence, you can just pitch it. 3 turn silence. You target a face of monster you control, increase its level by 3. Then if you activate this card in response to your opponent's monster effect activation while you control Shining Sarc and the monster that mentions it, you can negate that opponent's effect. And during damage calc, if your monster that mentions Shining Sarc battles, banish this card from your graveyard, end the battle phase. It's a very weird how the card is timed, but obviously this was a reference to one of Yugi's duels where he just skipped the battle phase and such. But this effect negate is very awkward to time. Because of how it works, you want to chain it to something, but you also need to have a valid target, of course. You want to give it to either Zero or Magician to pump it up again, right? Zero goes to 2,500, Magician as well. It's still a good card. I do think you kind of have to run 3, unfortunately, because it's one of your best cards in the deck. The Ties That Bind. If you control Shining Sarcophagus and a monster that mentions it, you special up to 2 level 4 lower monsters with different names that mention it from your hand or deck, and then you cannot special summon from the extra deck. Well, doesn't matter anyway, right? I love this artwork, by the way. You have Magician, Strong Fortress, Gandora, Swordsman, and more Malong. I'm not playing more Malong because he kind of sucks, but you take what you can get, right? Secrets of Dark Magic, you activate one of the following effects. Fusion summon a fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field, including either Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl. And of course, you ritual summon by tributing monsters from your hand or field, including Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl, which levels equal or exceed the level of the ritual monster. Obviously, we don't have any rituals, but we are fusion summoning. And 1 Stronghold, the Moving Fortress. This is the target that we set from Gadget Trio. He summoned this card as an effect monster, where it gains 1,000 attack for each Shining Sarcophagus and monster that mentions it that you control. So counts this and then all the monsters. And then once per turn, when your opponent declares an attack while you control Shining Sarc, you can destroy that monster. Pretty good. And then for the extra deck, obviously the big boy that we summon from Secrets of Dark Magic is Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. He cannot be destroyed by card effects. Neither player can target this card with card effects. During the main phase, you can destroy a monster your opponent controls and inflict damage equal to that opponent's monster's attack. And you can use this effect up to the number of times for every normal monster used as fusion material. In this deck, obviously, it's 0, so this effect is dead for us. And then once per turn, when a card effect is activated, quick effect, you can discard a card, negate the activation. If you do, destroy that card. And if you do that, this card gains 1,000 attack. He is big. He will destroy everything in your path. This is the final boss that Yugi should have summoned versus Atem. I'm just saying. Besides that, though, because of how the rest of the deck looks like, I am running Dark Magician, the Knight of Dragon Magic, where you need Dark Magician and or a level 7 or higher dragon or warrior monster. Gandora, and then eventually, if Silent Swordsman gets to that point, he can be also used as well. If your monster attacks the defensive position monster, inflict piercing battle damage. This helps both Magician, Zero, and Swordsman because they have all that attack, but your opponent can just put them in defense, and then, well, they can't really do damage that way, right? And once per turn, when your monster destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can inflict damage equal to that original monster's attack. And if this card is destroyed, you summon both 1 Dark Magician and 1 Gaia the Dragon Champion from your hand, deck, extra deck, or graveyard. Unfortunately, with how this is worded, you do need to summon both of them. I did just put him here because I really don't know what else I would put in this situation. It sucks that he only counts as Dark Magician on the field, but it makes sense. But this, you don't have to play Gaia the Dragon Champion. You can just play whatever you want at this point. Play another rank 7 if you want. Garura, and then because we are running OT Slayer to Garura to Malong, Mereologic Aggregator. In the event that these guys never gain levels and Gadget Trio is still on the field, as with Stronghold, I am running 106 Giant Hand. He is negate. Same with Tornado Dragon. And then, fun fact, I don't know. Number 21 is for funny. It's just here for the funny. Now, of course, I do got the replay for you folks. So first and foremost, I'm gonna start with Shining Sarc. What a goated hand again, by the way. Jesus, I'm good with this. So we're gonna go Shining Sarc. Of course, we're gonna add a card that mentions it. So because I have everything I need, I do get Turn Silence, which is our negate. Here, I'm going to normal the Gadget Trio and activate its effect. where I'm gonna get a spell trap. In this case, I'm gonna get that ties that bind. From here, I'm gonna declare Gandora-G, special summon it. I'm gonna declare Dark Magician next because, well, they all declare from hand, special summon it, and then guess what? We're gonna go Gandora-G, pay half my life points, blow up these two, and then summon Silent Magician 0. So from here, since I destroyed 2 cards, it gets 2 levels, and Gandora gets I believe 300 for each banish card. Fortunately, Dark Magician is going to be coming back, and because of that, he's only going to get 300 attacks. I just kept him in defense, right? So obviously we're going to trigger Dark Magician and Gadget Trio. Gadget Trio is going to set Stronghold and move Hidden Fortress. And then Dark Magician is going to special summon himself back and set Secrets of Dark Magic. Of course, don't forget to put increase the level of Silent Magician 0. Here, we're going to activate the ties that bind and summon out Silent Swordsman 0. So that way we have targeting protection on our field. And then I'm going to set that turn silence. And of course, you know, I'll go to end phase, draw Dark Magician, Silent Magician, Silent Magician is going to trigger because they are opponent drew a card in draw phase. It's get an extra counter. And then standby, Swordsman is going to trigger. He's going to get a counter. He's going to get that extra 500 attack. In the main phase, obviously, we go to Secrets of Dark Magic. Fuse those bad boys away. And of course, we go Red Eyes, Dark Dragoon. And I do have the negate online because I do have DD Crow. So yeah, of course I still have Stronghold of the Hidden Fortress set, and then if your opponent activates anything, I can just go turn silence. And yeah, this deck is essentially free. I don't know if you can put it in anything else, but I decided to just play Dragoon because I think it was funny. Thank you all so much for watching. I really have high hopes for this format. Genesys is very fun. Probably some of the most fun I ever had deck building. That's crazy, you know? Yeah, I'll see you guys next time.